Hi there, it's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, the Women's Broadcast TV Network, womenontv.tv, and iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, where today we actually reached 3.6 million views out of Tennessee alone and 4.6 million and counting. We went up another 3,000 in overall. I just finished doing our numbers. That's what I was doing. I do them once a day and keep track of everything because they continue to go up. So it's an honor and pleasure, Chris. All right, so Chris, let's have you introduce yourself and what's the name of your company?
So my name is Chris Reidel, and I'm the owner of Echo Sigma Emergency Systems. So we're basically a family-owned business that provides emergency supply company products, first aid, food, water, shelter, things of that nature, all encompassed in a backpack, different sizes for different day increments for anyone across the country and international as well.
Talk about how you started this. And I love the photo of your family. That immediately makes me want to go camping. And I don't have a family. I'm trapped in Vegas still at the house by myself. So I've been doing all of our shows and just getting everything going. But one of the reasons why I wanted to reach out to you, because I really wanted to get something for our property and showcase it on the Dreamweaver Artist Ranch, because you've got great gear. And I didn't know that. And what is it right now? Everybody needs this because of where we are. It's not going to go away.
Right. You know, it's always been people have been reactive versus proactive. And I think this is kind of bringing people's attention to being proactive now because of we always think, oh, nothing's going to happen. We'll be fine. And then something like this happens. It changes everything in the world. And we're like, wow, my kids are at home now. All these things that we never thought would actually change in the world are. So people are finally, I think, changing their school of thought and getting prepared with things ahead of time versus after something happens, which is normally the way it works.
Talk about how this started. Where was the premise that you came up with the idea? What made it click for you?
So what it is if you look online and you look at preparing yourself just as an individual, we didn't find anything in the marketplace that was for highly sophisticated gear for the average person. So we all work so much, have so many things to do. We don't have time to find the right gear without spending 40 hours doing it. Secondly, if you look out there, a lot of the stuff we felt like wasn't really the best quality. So if you have it sitting in a closet for 5 years, your backpack with the flashlights probably going to go bad because the batteries are stuck inside of it. So we focused on high quality everything and put it together for a high-end solution for preparedness.
You know, the fun thing about this, you could be riding your beach in Venice, California, or even walking down the boulevard in Vegas, or, up in Mount Shasta area where we're starting to build our ranch. It doesn't matter. You need all of those utilities right now. Talk about that.
Absolutely. And so the thing we kind of say is, listen, throw it in your car, throw it in your trunk, throw it in your office, throw it in your garage. All these places, they're so important because you know what? 90% of things that do happen out there are going to be a 2 hour, 3 hour delay, whether it's you have a hurricane warning and you're in Florida somewhere, or you're, for example, having a power outage because of an earthquake, something like that. So we want you to be prepared. And chances are you're probably with your car for the most part. So if it's in your car, you're at work or you work from home, you have your gear with you. So it's kind of a good solution for a 3 hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 or 4 day delay with having food, water, shelter, which we provide in each one of these backpacks.
Talk about, you mentioned the car. It's always important. And I have you can't see it here. I have a AI technology Segway that Segway gave me. And because of that, they've been able to sell 300 of those AIs because AI, wow. Telecommunications, voiceovers and animations, and obviously anything survival are the 5 things that anybody is going to need now. So you always need to be able to adapt, to adjust, and be flexible because this is not going away for at least 5 years. And I know being on the entertainment side and dealing with sports, fashion, and fitness, we all need this. And it doesn't matter where you are. So even for the spots where I can do the shows in Tennessee or Georgia, or even in, now in Costa Mesa, when I go down there, I can do those shows since it's not too far where you guys are. You need all those things because you do not know what's going to happen. And it is very important.
Absolutely. You don't know when it's going to happen either. So, it could be a normal day, and then all of a sudden something completely changes and flips upside down, whether you get into a bad accident, your car goes off a bridge, and you're submerged. Well, in our bag, which you have next to you in your car, is a glass breaker. Break the window, you survive. There's all these little things that you really don't think about because you think, you know what, it's never going to happen to me. But just having this gear just solves everything.
Talk about, there's two bags I thought they were really interesting, and I love the names you came up with them. I think one is the get out bag.
The get home bag. Yeah. Yeah. So basically to get home. So you're out driving, you're at work, car breaks down, there's weather, something to help you get home. So whether it's, you need food, you need a blanket to cover up to stay warm because say it's an icy road and your car just won't start or it breaks down. You need something to get you home. And this bag, we have food, water, shelter, fire starters, water purification tablets, all these little things help you get home. Whatever the catastrophe may be, these little objects and things we offer really help you get home.
Talk about the other bag. Is it the bug out one? Is that right?
Bug out bag.
Talk
Yeah,
about that one. Talk about the two differences in that because they are really important.
The big difference between the get home bag and the bug out bag, the get home bag is for a 3-day solution. The bug out bag is more for like a 5 to 7 day solution. So if you're out camping and you need more than food and water than 1 day, oh, sorry about that.
All right, don't worry about it. Stuff happens.
You know what? Working from home, you have kids playing, all these things are changing right now, right? So I'm going to move into the other room here, all right? Just too loud. All right. Sorry about that.
This is the part about being flexible. Usually I have...
Right. Absolutely.
That gives me the 360 point of view. So it's the first time I've done this one, just straight Zoom. Or else I like to do things differently.
Absolutely. So basically the biggest difference is how long do you want to be prepared for? So the get home bag, which is how we got found through Shark Tank and a few other big companies, that's kind of what kind of put us on the map. And that's like the most popular solution because like I said, most disasters are only going to be a few hours to a couple days. Yeah. Now the bug out bag is more for 36 pounds of gear. So that's going to be more for a longer situation where maybe you're in your underground bunker for a couple days or you're camping with family and you're out in the woods and you don't know how long you're going to be out there for because of whatever may have happened. So it's not only preparedness, it's also kind of crosses over to the camping, surviving world where you're out and having fun fishing for 5 days. You take your backpack and it's got everything you need and you go.
How much does that bag weigh?
So the bug out bag is 36 pounds and that's going to be quite heavy, but that's going to give you 40 packs of water. It's going to give you 3 full meals plus 15 ration bars, which enough that food and ration bars and water will last you easily 7 days, depending on how often you use it and how much you're eating.
Talk about your flashlights, and then do you guys have solar panels yet, portable ones yet?
We're just working right now with the deal with a solar company as we speak, matter of fact. And all of our flashlights, we use steel flashlights that are high quality. I mean, they cost us like $30 a piece. We don't like the plastic cheap anything. So we are high end, but we do feel like, you know what, we want it to not let you down when you need it, whether it's today or in 5 years from now. That's kind of why, for example, our food has a 5-year shelf life. So you have our products and you can rest assured that in 4 years, it's still good to go.
Right. And like I said, the important thing about that is I love the advanced information that I get a chance to have. Like I said, it's not going away for 5 years, but I think about being trapped in office buildings. And there was a company that I almost have, and then they disappeared. I hope they didn't go out of business. I want to help save them. And they have the portable solar panels because we're going to have more brownouts in apartment buildings and stuff like that. So again, it doesn't matter where you are now. It's important to have the products and the brands that your family has created. That is really, really important now because anything can happen. The strangest weather happens all around the world now. You just don't know.
That's absolutely it. Brian, when you look around and you think about just life in general, going through whatever it may be, just being prepared is so important. And I think the mindset, like we mentioned a few minutes ago, is finally really changing. And people are thinking, you know what, let me think about just those just in case situations. And let's have that backpack that's going to get us through. Where in the past, I think if you have a little extra income, you're going to buy that extra TV for the garage, or you're going to buy things that maybe you don't need, but you want. Well, I think people are starting to realize that, you know what, we need to be prepared. And whether it be a bunch of peanut butter stuck in the garage or extra food, extra water. It's just so smart to have these things taken care of now. So if something does happen, you're not scrambling last minute and trying to prepare yourself and your family.
How many bags do you have?
We carry about 15 different bags that are fully loaded, all from a 1 day to up to about a 2-week scenario. That's 100 pounds on wheels, rolled away, that literally you can, if there's, a major, major disaster, you can take it, put it in your truck, drive to the desert where there's probably nothing really happening, go out there and survive pretty effortlessly with everything we provide for you.
What have you heard from people who have purchased it, mainly why they might be purchasing it, and then are they talking about where they're going when they, choose a particular bag?
Absolutely. So it's interesting set. So we have like the 1 or 3 day our get home bag. That's kind of for, I would say, the everyday blue collar worker that wants something that's lightweight, it's 15 pounds, throw it in their trunk, and you forget about it until you need it. And then you go all the way up from there to a 3 day, 5 day, 7 day to a 2 week plan, where those are more of your people that kind of live off the grid. Maybe they have a cabin in Alaska, or they're the local mountains and they want to just basically, without having to pack for 2 days and get all this stuff prepared, they grab our fully loaded bag, put it in their car, and they go. And there's nothing else really to do. And then they can, bring other necessities they need. But I mean, we provide toothbrushes, toothpaste, women's needs, like things that you really wouldn't think of, especially if you're in a situation where you got to get out quick, earthquake, there's power lines down, you put it in and you go. We cover all those little things that are just off your mind when something happens.
What's the one you have in your trunk, and what's your favorite one?
Oh, so the get home bag, but I do the SOG special edition. So that's going to be the get home bag with 5 really high end tools. So an axe, a couple knives, really good flashlight. It's a lot more, but it is just that one that like, it makes your eyes go, wow. I show any of my friends and they go, I need one of those. And so we started doing those, and then we got contacted by like The Walking Dead and some TV shows. We made a zombie bag. Then last year we did an alien bag after the big Area 51 stuff happening in California. And those we can't keep in stock. And those have gas masks. I mean, we go, it's a little novel, but all the gear is literally high end. Nothing is cheap. It may have a novel name, but it all is very serious gear all the way. You look at it.
Good for you. So those, it's interesting. Those are the interviews that I usually do. So they usually give us things like that. Funny. So now that we can't, I can do those interviews, but we're doing them a different way because our team was always set up to be small and, again, sort of like a survival. So I have 10 women, actually 11. 4 out of the 10 are like Miss Universe, Miss Russia, LA, Miss First African American, North Carolina, Ms. America, Ms. Brazil, and then 7 out of the 11 are in the world of fitness. So we like things like that. So I'm always catering really more towards women, even though we reach a lot of the sporting people and stuff like that. And Mark Cuban and Robert, they're friends of mine. So I've been with them before they even went to Shark Tank. So good for you on that. What was that process like, and talk about that?
It was pretty cool because, I think the biggest thing for us as we're a family-owned business is if you have a good product, just a good product, people will find you. And as much as we go out looking for business, looking for contacts, looking for celebrities to help us get our name out there, I think the good product on its own, which we spent about 2 years developing before we brought it to market, says everything. Because we put it out there, we got called by one of the sharks from Shark Tank. We got found by Bear Grylls, who's the big-time survivalist from Discovery Channel. We started doing Escape from Alcatraz, which is a huge event in San Francisco every year, where we provided a backpack for every one of those athletes, for 7,000 guys that are diving in that shark-infested water, swimming, running, biking, all that cool stuff. So having the best product out there, it helps itself because it really opens people's eyes to your brand. We've grown so much just these last 3 months because of the epidemic. We're so much even more relevant. People are searching, and we're getting noticed by people like yourself and people that say, what's out there that I need right now? And it really helps having a product that you believe in, and it's going to be good for anyone out there when these situations happen.
On our situations, one of the things I want to do with it is we're going to be having a lot of tourists, a lot of people who are elite, whether it's Sinbad, Oprah, or Ava DuVernay, or anybody like that. And like I said, I do all those interviews, and because of our numbers, because of our 65 tiny houses that we're building, we want to have that showcase on our property. So think of those people you just talked about coming to see the technology that we found that we're showcasing around the world, because it's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. That's why you're doing extremely well, because people are getting the hint of that. Yes, we need to have that right now. There is no more waiting now.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We have, people that find us that are, say, a realtor or a housing contract company, and they'll say, hey, we're building 58 new multi-million-dollar houses, and we want to have a backpack provided when the homeowner moves in. And it's little things like that that kind of trigger like, you know what, we're helping people be more prepared just by being more relevant and putting it in these situations where they don't need to think about it. We're doing it for them, if you will. And so it's really like a nice calming thing, like knowing, oh, I got a new house. Okay, what do we need to do? What are our surroundings? What are our biggest issues of security? Oh, look, we have a backpack already with food, water, and shelter in case something happens. And we're just getting a lot of companies contact us trying to really expand what we're doing and help their brand, if you will.
Chris, give your website for the audience.
Yeah, it's www.echo-sigma, sigma.com. So echo-sigma.com. And we're around we just hit our 10-year anniversary. And that's pretty awesome for us. We're pretty excited about that for a family-owned business.
Congratulations. That's really good. And is most of your stuff made in America, or some of it components come from China, or what?
We do have to get a few components from China, but everything is assembled here. So that kind of helps us that a lot of our competitors right now are out of stock because I think they buy everything in China, assemble it there, and then ship it here. But when they run out of units, they're kind of handcuffed for the next few months. We're here. We have so much inventory locally, and we have a huge team that assembles each bag customized on the spot. So if you order today, we have one of our team members building it within 24, 48 hours and shipping it right to you.
Give your website again.
Yeah, it's echo-sigma.com.
And so what do you hope to go from here? What do you see for the summer? How do you gauge stuff? Because it's not hard, but it may be a little bit easy with you guys.
Yeah, so we're kind of expanding to more now that we're kind of in these phase 2 and phase 3 of getting back to reality. We're kind of putting together some bags that are more for going to a concert and you want to have a little something you can carry that's kind of like maybe it's already got a mask in it. It's got some eye protection. It makes you feel a little safer when you're sitting 6 feet from someone, say at a baseball game or at a concert. And if they do open that back up, it's going to change. So we're trying to provide things that we can put in a little bag that can say, you know what, I got my concert bag or my little go bag that I can throw stuff together in and I can feel completely safe in this new environment that we're not used to.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And again, it's about being prepared. And I love what you guys have to offer. Like I said, I had no idea. My partner finds these interesting companies around the world. And I'm like, okay, that would be great for what we need because we have our floating solar panels. We have stuff that LG wants. We have our AI from Segway because, again, a lot of delivery stuff is what people don't realize it's going to be next. There's a reason that the drone's out there because, again, AI technology. So you put that together where you guys are at a perfect spot, and congratulations on that. So
thank you so much. Yeah.
How can people reach out to you, and where's your location?
Yeah, so we're in Orange County, California. We're all online, but what we do is we have our phone number on the website right on top there. And the nice thing about it, what we really try to do, which I don't think is happening as much anymore, is we will answer every call. A lot of times it's hard to get a hold of a company. They want to chat or they want to do an email and you wait 2 or 3 days for a response.
And nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Right. Oh, it's so frustrating. So
it is frustrating. I've had that happen to me. I'm like, well, why are you calling? I'm like, you got a great brand that nobody's heard of. And I know when I'm talking to my friend Sinbad, you ever heard of this? And he's a technology guy. People know him as a comedian, but no, he loves technology. I'm like, no, I've never heard about them. Get me on the phone with him. Okay. So one of the things I want to do with you, Chris, but I'm going to let you finish and I'll tell you what I have planned for you.
Sure. So where are we going with that again, Brian? I kind of got lost.
You were talking about certain people, things for the summer, going camping and concerts.
Yeah. So we're doing new content bags for smaller situations that are lightweight, easier to take with you. Because now we're such out of our element that we're homeschooling. And sometimes we can't do that even at home because we have to go and run an errand with mom or dad. And so we got to do it in the car. Or, these masks are so many times we change cars from our spouse and, oh my gosh, my mask's at home. What do I do? And so if we have this with us, kind of like every day you have your keys, your wallet, your phone, and the things you always go with you. We're trying to get it so, well, now you always have your mask with you. Or now you always have eye protection or ear protection, little things like that that can just relieve stress of knowing, whatever I do and go and need to be at, I got what I need. Because stores are different. Some stores let you in without a mask, others won't. And so you're kind of like just kind of going out and hoping you can get your hair cut and you're not sure if they're going to allow you to come in the way you are or not. So we want to try to make it easier for everybody out there because our world is definitely changing more than I've ever seen. And you always say, it's never going to happen to me or it's fine, but this is pretty wild to see what we're experiencing right now.
Well, here's the thing. You could tell from what you're doing. I can tell from all the people I'm talking to around the world. And again, I'm watching the states, Georgia and Florida, because this time last year I was in Georgia for 4 months because I was, working on setting up stuff there, but also having everything an emergency situation because I need to be able to get, if I'm in Georgia or Tennessee, I need to get back to California or the Vegas for what we need to have right away. So I already have those routes and everything set up. And I've been telling people about this since October 3rd of 2018, if you can imagine.
Wow.
Look where we are now.
Right. And like for us having these airplane flights that are either non-existent or super, people are like, do I want to get on a plane right now? I don't know if I feel comfortable. So if I can drive to Vegas like I can in 4 hours from my location here, maybe I just drive to this meeting and it's a little more inconvenient, but I know I feel safer and I have what I need in my car and it's no big deal versus going through the rigmaroles of trying to understand how we're all going to be changing our lifestyles with going to Disneyland or things like that we just don't know how it's going to be.
And you can't go to Disneyland right now. And I've been telling the Disney people because I deal with Disney.
Right. It's crazy. I have a lot of friends that work there and I'm just like, this is just so, I can't even believe that our schools are closed and Disneyland is closed and going to a baseball game is not sports aren't around. And it's just, we need to evolve with the times. And this is the best way to do it is having been prepared.
All right, Chris, I want to thank you for your time. One more time, give your website for everybody.
Yeah, it's echo-sigma.com.
All right, and I'm Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews More, and please reach out to us, iTube247, WomenOnTV.tv, and the Women's Broadcast TV Network, and we will see you next week.